Hi everyone. We'll be starting momentarily. I'm waiting for YouTube to update. There we go. Now I can see if I've got everything ready. Yeah, looks like everything is good. So, hi everyone. Welcome to another stream of the Outer Worlds. Where we had last finished, we had managed to get onto the Byzantium and find out what happened with the gas that we need for the frozen population on the Hope. And now we got to go try and figure out how to get everything off of that. We also got contacted by, it was either the administrator or one of the people on the board. I don't know. I can't remember exactly which one it was. But she was like, you should work for me. Do the things that I want. Put a bug on the doctor for me. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll think about it. I'm not going to think about it. I'm not going to do it. Because so far, the board just seems so incompetent at the job. Whatever I'm doing is already 1,000 times better than whatever they have planned. So, yeah, we're not siding with them when they literally cannot function on their own. We also still have to do some... we have to do the Gorgon quest, which started when we arrived at Byzantium. And now we just gotta figure out if we want to start that or wait and do the other thing first by giving the gas. But for now, let's switch over to the game and boot it up. So, by the way, did anyone see that news update from the Outer Worlds? Because I got it. Apparently there's going to be a remaster or re-release which has updated graphics and more levels and stuff and items. And I was like, cool. Still have to pay for it, even though I own the original. With all the DLC, it's like, oh, you need to pay again for the game. It's like, oh, it should just be a free upgrade, but whatever. Kind of annoyed, not because of that, but more because of I've already gotten so far that it's kind of late to give me that now after I've already played this much. But yeah. Give it a second. So yes, we've also got to go around doing the Halcyon in a day quest. So let me make sure it's showing up. And I'm being heard. Yep, sound has been picked up on the game and me. We appear to be good. For that, let me just see. Blah, 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 blah. I am skim reading something to make sure. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so let's do this Halcyon on a day thing. Sup?
We are now in orbit above Edgewater, Captain.
Now I have to land to go find the thing.
Take someone to watch.
You can't tell me what to do. Weird.
You're back.
I wonder how far it is. Oh god, 583 meters. Ugh. Ugh, I have to walk. Why couldn't there be a fast travel thing over there? I'll just leg it as fast as I can. Ah, into the danger, into the lava field.
Great work.
Got more important things to worry about than people dying. Or than these things. Wonder, how close can I get to this? Really close, actually. Let me do a quick save. Nope. It was a good thing I checked that, because I was going to try and run across the lava. I am not fireproof yet. I just need to expose myself enough to fire, and then I'll become resistant. And then immune. Injured. Injured. Speed! I don't know what they did to the lava, but it's going at like 2 frames per second over there. Though to be fair, this is the only time you really see lava in this game, so it's kind of a shame because lava's cool, and yet it's just on one planet. Oh well. You know, I never looked up before. What's up with that? Why does it look like that? Dead. Gigantes.
We're pretty good at this.
Be better if you didn't take so long.
We hope you've enjoyed your trek across the breathtaking landscape of Emerald Vale.
Not really.
Era 2's most fertile settlement and future breadbasket of Halcyon.
It is not.
Take a moment to enjoy this vista with a can of Spacer's Choice Saltuna before you make your way to Mighty Scylla, Halcyon's biggest asteroid.
Oh boy, I gotta go to Scylla now?
Here we go. Roy's hit.
Done. Don't you just like killing things in like a few shots? I actually feel like this is a gun rather than a pea shooter. Right, back to the ship. Now we've got to go to Scylla.
Destination reached. Scylla.
Okay,
Take someone to our...
I always do. Monarch Stellar Industries blusters die with a whimper. War of Words fizzles. The original name is... Oh, fine, I don't want to read that. Raising your dialogue skills is good for conversations and also unlocks combat dialogue abilities that distract and disable your enemies. Somehow. Whee! Oh, come on. I fell further than that when I landed on the side. Scylla Beacon. Of course it's on the outside.
Scylla is our colony's busiest mining settlement. But don't take our word for it. Ask one of the hundreds of proud Hephaestus miners going about their work right now.
Yeah.
You're in for a real treat, because our last stop takes us to a charming little village outside Stellar Bay, located on Terra 1.
No! There we go. This loading screen really should change because we've already left and flew this around for a while now. It shouldn't say against all odds the unreliable takes flight. It should just be the reliable or unreliable flies again. It's not bad. Terra 1 Monarch.
We're now in orbit above Stellar Bay, Captain.
That's cool. Spectrum vodka, a glass for every class. Spectrum red. Doesn't really tell us what the different vodka colors are for which class. Right, where do I need to go? Over there? All right. This one, UDL lab. This way. I think. Well, as I was saying, yeah, with the remaster, I don't even know if I would get it because for me, this kind of game, or this game anyway, is a one and done. Once I finish playing this, I'm probably never going to pick it up again. Because I've said it before, but there are parts of this game which just frustrate me, which is mostly that it's trying to be funny too much, too often. And, you know, the logic for things is just stupid. I don't like it when you've got enemies that are just stupid, or people's reasons are stupid. Like, it's a bit much. So yeah, this is a one and done game for me.
Welcome to Terra 1, the most Earth-like world in Halcyon.
Yes,
Take a
that
moment to admire
stinks.
the triumph of civilization over nature. And while you're at it, say hello to the local settlers. We hope you've enjoyed this guided tour across the wonders of Halcyon.
Not really.
Please return to the Bureau of Exploration for a special prize.
The special prize better be worth it. Probably isn't it? Back to Byzantium. If he ends up being dead just like the other person was, I'm going to be annoyed.
We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.
To the Bureau of Investigation. Need that, Alonso.
Oh, it's you. I suppose you're here to collect your prize, hmm?
Yes, what do you sound like?
I really do have the worst luck. When I gave you this job, I never expected you'd be so damned competent.
That's me, damned competent.
Yes, go on and gloat.
That was
Already
more of a
ruined all
joke,
my
but
plans
sure.
with your talent for staying alive. The tour's not real, friend. Board shut it down years ago due to unacceptably high rates of fatalities. So I greased a few palms and got the tour up and running again. I outfitted every beacon with a recording device. Live footage of dim-witted mercenaries dying in gruesome ways across Halcyon. Oh, imagine the ratings.
So you're just a monster. You tried to get me killed. Are you crazy?
Oh, come on. I would have made your death worth millions.
For you.
Look, never mind. Just take your reward and get out of my hair. One certified explorer's hat, courtesy of the Bureau of Exploration, with my compliments.
Oh no, he died. That is the one time I'm actually going to be like, yes, killing an NPC is good.
Welcome to the Bureau of Exploration. We're not currently offering any tours.
No, no one else will fall for it. There was no way I was just going to let him get away with that. Can I actually find it again? I've already forgotten what it was. Here we go. All Halcyon all day. They return to Alonso, clear on world, admit that they did not expect the player to survive. Using the beacon to record footage of mercenary dying gruesomely to sell on Byzantium. It is called All Halcyon All Day. Found all the beacons and claimed the prize for completing the sightseeing tour. Yep, I also got a hat. For exploring the great and dangerous vistas of the galaxy, or just looking like you do. It gives me +1 to perception, but it's a level 11. Whereas the other hat I've got is a level 25 and gives me long gone +5. This is a legendary armor, and I can't equip any upgrades to it. And it just gives me a +1 to perception. Is that better than long guns? Our words. Perception. Effect. Guns. Attributes. Perception. Affects headshots and weak spot damage bonuses. Affected skills. Handgun, long guns, heavy weapons, dodge, lockpick, and engineering. So, potentially it could be better. Looks ridiculous as hell, though. It kind of makes me think of the Crocodile Hunter or whatever. So that gives me a +1, which makes this now high, which is nice. And 27, 39, 27. With this on, it is 45. And perception actually affects more than just long guns. It affects a lot of stuff. So I guess this is actually a better thing to wear. Yeah, it's down from 47 to 39, but that is still better because it gives also more points than these. So, sure. 154 engineering. I don't even need that much, but I'll take it. Only it didn't suck so bad. Maybe if I upgrade it more, it would probably be better. I just need to find a upgrade bench. But we're done here. Yes, it was worth it killing that guy because he was just going to send more people that come by just for, you know, looking around. Literally, we came in just looking around. It's like, what are you doing here? You could go to the plaza. It's like, actually, you could go to these random freaking things all over the galaxy and you'll get a special reward. He come back and he's just like, oh, you're still alive? Damn it. Well, here's his hat. I wanted you to die so then I would get millions of credits off of your death for myself. Again, this is the one time I've killed an NPC in this game that gave me a quest because this guy was just evil. He's just evil. He's sending people to their deaths just so then he can earn money off of their death.
Nothing exciting ever happened.
My dear fellow, you've no idea how our production has suffered. Why?
I don't care. I'm leaving now. I hope I never come back. Screw Byzantium. 'Tis a silly place. Right, so that didn't take long. Let's go to the upgrade bench and see if I can upgrade this hat. Are you serious? I can't. Or is it? Oh, it's here. Never mind. So now it's at 13. Which I guess is better. It's better than it was. Which still isn't... Where is the hat? Actually, no, it's better now. Considering it's only level 19, this is level 25. This still only has 11. But this is level 19, it has 13. So that's already better. Anything new to say, Pavati?
I could probably spend years fixing.
Oh, well, no, then. Okay. Parvati, can we give you a new outfit? I think you might be better served with something that gives you... $39. What does this look like on you? Well, you look pretty badass, actually, in this. I like this. It's kind of funky. Vicar. He's fine with that. Sam we can't do anything with. We could give you this. Light, medium. Oh man, that looks cool. At least on you it does. Spatial acuity sensor apparatus. That would emit. Look at that at loud decibels. This feature has been disabled. Oh god. Perception +1, interactable highlight range 2.5, bonus to extra headshot damage. He doesn't really do headshots, to be honest. Ellie. That's fine for now. Right. So, we've got just the main quests left at the moment. We've got the City in the Stars, which we need to return to Phineas to give him the dimethyl sulfoxide, or the long distance, where we have to give or find Wellis's communication terminal and send a tracking signal. We've also got Gorgon. I kind of want to do Gorgon before I do any more story, just in case, because this came up immediately coming to Byzantium. And I'm worried that I'm actually near the end of the game. So I'm going to do this. We got to find out what this arm was about. Ooh. It looks like a PNG image on that. That looks like it's 3D. That doesn't.
Welcome back, Cap. How?
Nothing.
I request you do not wake me if I am sleeping.
Okay. Do you even sleep? You're an AI. Let us begin. On Gorgon, it's always Adrena time. Made with real xenosite waste. Having trouble closing the distance to use your melee attacks? Heavier. Okay, don't let me finish that.
Welcome to Ambrose Manor. We were not
Oh.
expecting company. Please follow. Do not stray from the path.
Don't worry, little fella. We're mostly law-abiding folk.
What the?
Oh no, we should check to see he's all right.
Why did you just walk off like that?
This unit cannot bring you any drinks in its current state.
You okay, buddy? I can't actually do anything for you, apparently. Water? Usually it's just alcohol. The fact that there's water here. Groundskeeper Journal Volume 1. Daily routine. Sweep the Tranquility Garden for Mrs. Olivia. Oil the fish for Mr. Harvey. Repeat. When they hired me on as groundskeeper, I assumed there'd be grounds to keep. I'm not even allowed inside the manor. Everyone told me the Ambrose family keeps to themselves, but they're a bunch of hermits. Save for the little one. Guess I ought to find a hobby. Mr. Harvey dropped his keycard in the pond. I'll hold on to it in case he ever comes looking, but I won't go near the house. Wouldn't want to get between Mrs. Olivia and his research. Well, that's mine now. Oh boy, shovels and a pickaxe.
This unit expresses dismay.
Oh. Well, it's not letting me pick you up, so I'm just going to have to leave you on the floor. It turns out he was a murderous robot. Everything here is just rocks. Like, not even a pathway, it's just rocky slope. Very foggy here. Also, cool music. It's like ambient tracks. Oh, it's like a Zen garden. Except the boulders have rock lights underneath them. Tranquility Garden. This is pretty. Eh. Dirt. Oh, they glow. They're like pulsating glows. Do they have a dog or something that's just digging up stuff?
Those big empty windows. It feels like the building's watching me. Oh, Law, I'm getting goosebumps.
At the very least, there ought to be something worth stealing in there.
Possibly. Saltuna Pond. What the? There's no water. These are fake fish. Okay. Okay, so none of this is real. Does that mean everything else is not real? Like it's not really a manor, it's going to be like one of those cardboard cutouts that just fall over when you walk up to it. Oh, a minute. Did I just see something back there? Okay, it's just a rock. I thought it was like an actual facility thing. Hello? I'm here looking for the disappearance of a man who left me his arm. Hold on. Okay, I thought it was a cool looking gun, but it's not. It's just a default. Oh, I see something over there. Speed. Thank you. You know, considering I'm level 36, which is the maximum level, all the weapons would be leveled up to my level rather than still giving me things that are only level 1. Because then I have to waste time trying to level things up to my level. That plant's been knocked over. It's strange that I can't look through the windows. They're windows, they're not... They're just blacked out. Oh, let's see what happens. Hello? Ooh, shiny.
Okay, maybe not.
Things are covered in
So empty.
cloths.
Oh, Captain, something here don't feel right.
Don't worry, there's no ghosts. The door's closed behind you. Considering there are robots around cleaning things, you think it'd be a little bit cleaner? Or looked after? Hello? We've got the recharge stations up. All the chairs are on the table, which means that no one's been seated in a while. Spacer's Choice. When life gives you lemons, consider it a free trial for you and your friends at Spacer's Choice. Logs. Recent activity. User Wambros attempted to log into system. Final attempt failed. Lacking terminal for 5 days. Or locking terminal. User Wambros attempted to log into the system. 1 try remaining. 2 tries. Routine maintenance log. User Ombros activated dinner time protocol. Meal was woolly loaf. Hambros activated dinner time. Trip kale. Ombros was borscht roast. Corruption detected in earlier logs, omitting corrupted entries. Saltuna stock is spoiled. Please replenish. Woolly cow steak. Mock apples are all spoiled. Boston beans, 13 cans. Mock apple steak. Okay, well, I don't need to activate it because I have a key. Oh, this place is dirty. Like, really dirty. Take that. No one seems to have been in for years. Stogie Slim. There's a thing back here. I mean, should I go this way? I want to go upstairs first. Okay, so it wants me to go this way. Is that an elevator? Because that's a very small room otherwise. Oh, this isn't creepy at all. Goodbye letter. Dearest mother and father, I've paced the halls of the Gilded Cage long enough. Since you won't permit me to help the family business, I'm leaving to start a business of my own. Am I too young for such ambitions? Perhaps. But that is the risk you take when you fashion a daughter in your image. Byzantium will welcome me with open arms. Won't that be a new sensation? If I ever return, I'll be claimed my rightful spot at the head of the family, Minnie. Okay. So someone called Minnie. Oh, this thing is dirty as hell. Because of the thing over there, I kind of want to go that way. Ugh, fine. I'll go that way.
Oh my law, this is just like that episode of Virginia Yang, Girl Detective, where the old fella dies and his nurse inherits his house.
God.
What if we find a body?
Oh, no body yet. Keycard, though. And some weird service tokens, which I keep finding everywhere. Pocket watch. Bracelet. What looks like just a head. It's not creepy at all. Oh, a skull. A giant skull at that. Personal terminal, Dr. Olivia Ambrose. Along the wilderness of glass, no swellings tell that winds may be. Upon some far off happier sea, no leavings or heavings hint that winds have been on seas less hideously serene. Yep. Ambrose W. Or O. Logs. Displaying 5 total entries. February 1st, 23, 24, 29, 37, 48. Let's go with the first one. February 1st, 23, 24. This morning I gave birth to a healthy child. I gave birth today. It's great. Okay. Great way to start an entry. Perhaps that's a strange distinction to call her healthy, but after all I've endured to finally meet her, it matters. That she exists at all against the odds matters. I will call her Wilhelmina, after my late brother, Wilhelm. I hope the law is kinder to her than it was to him. I hope for many things, truthfully, that she be smart and shrewd, that she be strong, relentless, undeniable. Most of all, I hope for her a steel spine, that she does not bend when Halcyon would break her, that she would be stronger than I. March 17th, same year. I must find Minnie a wet nurse. She demands to be fed throughout the day and night, and I simply cannot get a single thing done. The nurse will need to be exceptional, smart, educated, of means. Minnie must have the best start if she's going to survive the pit of vipers that is a Byzantium elite. Then there is the matter of governess. I can't watch the child constantly, not if I'm to do my work. How soon must I begin looking? Naturally, she'll have to be exceptional as well, and exceptional Byzantines don't exactly grow on trees. I'll persuade Harvey to investigate this for me. The man has little else to do. November 29. Or the 22nd of November, 2329. I don't understand how anyone of ambition has to keep a journal. I certainly don't, yet here I am, indulging myself. Minnie's influence, no doubt. Her behavior concerns me. She's clingy, emotional. At 5, she should be starting to show some personality, not crying for her mother when I leave for another stint on Gorgon. This must be the fault of Marie, her governess. As Minnie certainly didn't learn this behavior from me, I have to fire the woman. It's clear she's not capable of instilling in Minnie a correct understanding of how to behave. Harvey despairs of ever finding a governess who meets my preposterous standards. He and I went in circles on the issue for hours, but he came around to my thinking eventually. Why shouldn't I want what's best for my daughter? Maybe I'll fire him too. Your husband? What? June 5th, 37. I'm at my wit's end with Minnie. At 13, she should have already mastered basic chemistry, physics, and mathematics, but she can barely handle long division. She struggles to remember the simplest equations and formulas, no matter how many times her governess raps her knuckles. By the time I was her age, I already made a dynamite in my grandfather's laboratory. The only thing Minnie's making explode is my head. Her father asked me why we don't just send her to boarding school, but I abhor the thought of her surrounded by those coddled idiots. More alarmingly still, she's begun to show an interest in romance serials and painting. She may have a strong grasp of colour theory, and she shows some promise with watercolours, but surely that's the result of her education in spectroscopy. I'm trying to say too much in one go. in spectroscopy, not any innate skill. What value has art, anyway? She gave me a truly dreadful painting of Frances this morning, and I haven't a clue what to do with it. Perhaps I'll stuff it in my desk. We all have a good laugh over it when she's grown and finally come to her senses. 28th, 23, 48. It's April. Lucian appeared at the manor this morning. I thought him here for me, to finally wring my neck after our latest tiff. But no, it was much worse than that. He'd come to speak to Minnie. No need to guess why. She's taken it upon herself to manage the household these last few years, since neither her father nor I have the time, nor frankly inclination. Under her watch, the staff's productivity has increased 35%, while reducing our costs an astonishing 67%. We've saved tons of thousands of bits. Harvey tipped Lucian off, I expect. No, now he wants to bring her to help manage the Gorgon facilities, which are fused over Minnie's vociferous protestations. She cried after he left. I only wish that I could tell her why. Her deleted logs. October 14th, 2348. How did I raise such a willful daughter? She's no longer requesting to join the project, but demanding, I'm ready, I can help, it's what I want. She doesn't know what she's asking. Gorgon is not safe. Compound X is in the air. It's infected the water and the food. It's no longer just the test subjects and the laboratory techs in danger now. Even the general staff are beginning to feel its effects. Even I feel it. I'm tied up in knots. I know what I must do, the only way I can persuade her away, but it will kill me to do it. Minnie, I'll say, you just don't have what it takes. You're too shallow, too simple, too weak. She'll hate me for it. I'm sure it will destroy her, but it will work. She'll be safe. That's all I care about now. Okay, 2350, January 3rd. Harvey is gone. His body's still alive, but the man I married is dead. He broke into my office and stole the last of my release candidate ampules, busted a door to splinters in his withdrawal fury. I've chartered a shuttle to bring him to the facility for medical care, even convinced Priantha to oversee the transfer. He didn't want to, he was worried it wasn't safe, but I begged him. Harvey killed the shuttle crew, Priantha too, but the shuttle wouldn't take off without his pilot, and I couldn't stop his raging. So I left the ship on the landing pad for days, watched him tear it to pieces with his bare hands. He lost a lot of blood. I brought him inside once he finally passed out and shoved him into a stasis solution tube. My work did this to him. I did this. I tell Lucian, surely he'll know how to delay the release. Surely after this. I guess Ambrose then. The search continues. I take from these entries that Mother was severe with her editorial pen. This is but one version of her carefully curated. Oh, this is only one version of her. Carefully curated, and not the one I wanted to find. Where is her unvarnished stream of consciousness? Where is her spontaneous brilliance? The search continues. My efforts will inevitably steer me to Gorgon. What then, Minnie? What then? Okay. Interesting. What the hell is that? Oh, I think that's the other thing we said. This is just the manor that's next to that. Okay. Well, can I open this? No. The only thing in there I would be interested in is the bit cartridges, but I can't get it. Oh well. I'm free! Bathroom. Ew. Ew. This is marble. How do you stain marble on the ceiling? So what the hell is that? Why is it showing water in it, but it's going upwards? I'm asking questions of logic for this game where nothing has been logical. Alright, we've checked that room. We haven't checked this room. I guess I can check it now. Ooh. Interesting. This is the master bedroom. Considering it's completely empty, yeah. Doctor's orders.
Dear Wilhelmina, I hope this letter finds you well.
What is this? The masked marketeer.
It's too stilted. It sounds like I'm writing to request a loan. Dearest Wilhelmina, I regret to tell you Law, no, that's worse. When have I ever called her dearest? She's my daughter. This should be easy. How can a mother not know how to talk to her own daughter? My love, I can no longer... For your safety, I must... Oh, hell. Even if she despises me for what I had to do, I should still be able to say goodbye. Minnie, I have to leave, and I don't intend to come back. I love you. I'm so sorry.
Okay, I have to say, like, we've been here for like only a few minutes, and the ambient track going on right now has been the best song in this entire game. And that's not saying the other songs are all terrible, no. But this single song, for some reason, is just... I think it's just because it's like so melancholic. I'm really digging it. Grows in the power the closer you are to death, just like a real doctor. Wow. Okay. Actually, can I equip that to someone? Does someone have a gun that they're not very good with? That's not even got upgrades in it, and it's already 770. Maybe if I upgrade it, it'll be worth more. Anyway. Hello?
Join me for a drink, miss. Whoever.
There's at least one person here.
So who the devil are you?
Wilmina Ambrose. Celeste, captain of the Unreliable.
You don't say. Well, make yourself at home, Captain. I'm sure we have much to discuss. Do you see that glowing chunk of space rock? That's Gorgon. My birthright, my burden, and the bane of my existence. I hate to drink alone, and this is
I got given another one.
So join me in raising a glass to Gorgon.
Solemn toast to Gorgon.
To Gorgon. May cosmic winds shepherd her to the nearest star. I'm Wilhelmina Ambrose, but you can keep it short and call me Minnie. Now, what brings you to my house, gorgeous? I take it you didn't come all this way for the beverages, the starry skies, or the pleasant company.
I'm here about a severed arm.
A severed arm? How positively ghoulish. You know this is a private residence, not a curio shop?
Does the name Lucky Montoya mean anything to you?
Lucky Montoya is my personal freelancer. Fascinating man. Very brooding and theatrical. Always staring into space and twirling a bullet over his knuckles.
He's definitely not doing that anymore.
But if something happened to him... Oh dear. I suppose that makes him my former freelancer now?
Sorry about your loss.
Thank you. But the people in my orbit come and go all the time. Occupational hazard. What a time for his luck to run out. We were in the middle of something grand, and I really can't afford another setback.
Let me guess, you need someone to finish whatever Lucky started.
Excellent deduction. I can tell I found the right woman for the job. How would you like to be my new freelancer? There's been a recent vacancy, and I think you're well suited to the job.
Remember, play hard to get. That's negotiation.
You offer work to everyone who breaks into your home? Must be some kind of Byzantine tradition I
can actually see your neck now.
I'm looking for someone rough around the edges. A gorgeous, dashing scoundrel type. Incidentally, someone good with their hands.
Well, that just apparently means to be me. You're looking at one. I'm good with hands. They may not be my hands, but I've got a hand that was in a box. I could slap you about with that. It's a dangerous weapon. Gorgeous.
I like my employees well-groomed. Appearances are everything in high society.
You looking for a hired gun or a runaway model? Runway model.
I'm looking for both. Remember, I'm rich enough that I can afford to be choosy. And I choose you, dear Captain.
It's a good thing my charm is
Allow me
almost
to lay out
maxed.
the facts, and you can decide for yourself if you want to be my chief investigator.
Oh man, I get to be an investigator
My mother,
again?
Dr. Olivia Ambrose worked for Spacer's Choice at the Gorgon Research Facility. She was brilliant, the top scientist in her field, until tragedy struck.
Go on.
One day, Spacer's Choice shut down all research and evacuated Gorgon. Everyone had to scramble or risk getting left behind. It was chaos. Employees fled for their lives. Mother never made it home. I'm told she wasn't the only casualty that fateful day.
It must have been real hard on you, losing your mother all of a sudden like that. I'm sorry to hear it, ma'am.
Thank you. Ambrose ladies are supposed to be resilient to the unexpected, but this was especially hard on me. Mother's name has since been dragged through the mud. Spacer's Choice blames her for the collapse of Project
Of course they
Gorgon,
do.
and I just know they're lying.
What did they say about her?
Everything you can imagine and more. Dereliction of duty, circulating anti-corporate memos, taking longer than average coffee breaks. The list goes on.
Oh boy.
Mother would not have allowed Project Gorgon to fail. Something happened on that asteroid, and my family took the fall for it.
What did you send Lucky to find?
The truth. Mother is gone, Gorgon is silent, and I deserve answers.
Answers to what end?
That will depend on what we learn. The scope of this cover-up is enormous. Whatever Spacer's Choice is hiding could bring ruin down on their heads. Or it could just be another dead end. We won't know till we look, will we?
I seriously need to look up the music, this song, when I'm done streaming, because it's just so fitting. It's so good. It's just probably one of the most simplest songs you could hear. It's literally just an ambient track, and yet I'm loving it. Tell me about your mother.
I admired Mother, but we weren't close. She disapproved of everything about me, really. I couldn't measure up to her example. She didn't make time for us. I remember thinking that she never wanted a child, and never forgave me for being one, naive and irresponsible as I was.
Sound familiar, Ellie?
Trust me, we are nothing alike.
A kindred spirit. Well, well, charmed. Today is full of surprises. Mother worked herself to the bone. She wanted to make the colony a better place, no matter who or what got sacrificed along the way. She never spared a thought for those of us who cherished her, who suffered for her idea of progress.
Did you two ever get along?
We got close once. When I was a child, I enjoyed looking over Mother's shoulder, playing backseat chemist while she peered into a microscope. One day, she told me to leave before I broke something. Then, I got mad and broke something. Typical night in the Ambrose house.
Oh, that hurts my heart to hear, ma'am. My dad was real dedicated to his work, too, but he always let me help. Made me feel, I don't know, special. Like I had something to offer. I wish you could have had that with your mother.
Mother and Gorgon were made for each other. I had the misfortune to be stuck in the middle.
What do you think happened on Gorgon?
I don't know.
I could have worded that better, but
Spacer's
yeah.
Choice won't say.
Said that
They don't
better.
discuss anything that tarnishes their brand. Gorgon has a dark history. The project fell apart. Personnel were shuffled across the system. With Mother gone, now I'm all that's left.
Where's your father in all this?
Father lost more than his job on Gorgon. I'll say no more than that. The asteroid may look like a glittering jewel, but I assure you the resemblance ends there. Gorgon is poisonous to the core. One might even say cursed. I need your help, Captain. Project Gorgon killed Mother and disgraced the Ambrose name, and no one has been held accountable. Spacer's Choice buried the past like a dirty secret.
We're practically strangers. Why put your trust in me?
You followed an uncertain lead all the way to my doorstep. You're curious, resourceful, and perceptive.
That's
all
me.
The marks of a good private eye. Whatever happened on Gorgon wasn't Mother's fault. I simply need the evidence to prove it. We're going to drag the truth kicking and screaming into the light. Even if it means bringing ruin and humiliation to Spacer's Choice. All the evidence I need should be in Mother's journal. You can find it in her office on Gorgon, in the heart of the old research facility.
I have some questions about this job first.
I'm not surprised. Between the family drama and the corporate conspiracy, it must feel like you've stepped on a landmine. Speak freely, Captain.
Well, maybe not a landmine, but certainly something that was a lot more involved than I thought it would be. I want to check something very quickly. Yeah, I'm showing up on there. Very quickly. Yeah, I'm on that. I'm just wondering why the thing's showing as nothing. Oh well. What good is your mother journal to you now?
I suspect it will prove that corporate greed and incompetence were to blame for the calamity at Gorgon, and not Mother. Mother was a brilliant woman. Difficult, cold, unreachable even, but brilliant.
Could Spacer's Choice have taken the journal?
Spacer's Choice evacuated in a hurry, leaving a fortune's worth of equipment in their wake. Mother's journal would have escaped their notice. This is my last hope of redeeming the Ambrose name. I don't like my chances, but I have to try. And I need help. Your help.
Why did you wait before starting the investigation? Yeah, why did you wait?
I didn't want to go anywhere near Gorgon. Once I exhausted all my options, the search led me back here. I even had Mother declared legally dead. Would you believe it took 5 years to process the paperwork?
They never found her body, did they?
Mother's body is still on Gorgon. No body means no death certificate, which means no inheritance. I killed Mother, just on paper, of course, so I could claim my inheritance. We wouldn't be standing here if I didn't have access to the family fortune.
Damn, wish I'd thought of that.
I once assumed the mansion and the money would be enough to redeem the Ambrose name. But even in Byzantium, prestige must be earned, and it can so easily be lost.
Are you saying you just want to break into high society?
You know, some people work hard just to break out.
Break back into high society, yes.
I thought you were trying to vindicate your mother.
I'm trying to do several things at once. None of them easy. The smear campaign against Mother was the work of cowards. I'm vindicating the family name for her, for the colony, and for my future.
What do you stand to gain?
Everything that Mother lost. This colony is in trouble. The lunatics at Spacer's Choice are running the asylum, and we need better people to wield their influence. After Gorgon, I quickly discovered that the Ambrose name was cursed, for lack of a better term.
Okay.
I had no place among the decision makers. No seat at the table.
That's Byzantium for you. Gossip mongering's a bigger sport than tossball.
That is why I'm clearing the record and vindicating the Ambrose line. For Mother, for me, and for the generations who will one day inherit Halcyon.
I was actually hoping to ask more questions. Well, say no more. Put me toward the journal and I'll be off.
Thank you, Captain. You won't regret this. When you reach Gorgon, pack a weapon you trust. The corporate lockdown hasn't stopped the wilderness from squirming in through the cracks.
What can I expect to face on Gorgon?
I've never understood why, but Gorgon is teeming with marauders. They almost seem drawn to sorrow and misfortune. Then there's the test subjects, those who survived anyway. Ravenous creatures left behind like so much salvage.
What did you tell Lucky about this job?
I told him everything I've told you. Just the facts. Maybe a couple of harmless embellishments. Why?
Just making sure I have what I need.
Still, you're smart to ask. Lucky spent most of our time together spinning a pistol around his index finger. Not sure he listened to any of my advice.
That sounds like Lucky, all right. The man loved to show off.
He had an aura of rugged individualism that was quite charming. Not that it helped him in the end. But you won't let me down, will you, Captain?
I'll be careful. I always am. Majority of the time.
There's a little saloon near Gorgon's landing pad, the Sprat Shack. Lucky was renting a room, so if you want to follow his trail, that would be the place to start.
I think I've heard of that place. Cheap whiskey, rough crowd. You'll love it.
Oh, you think maybe they got a little mascot? Like a sprat in a tiny hat?
Just so we understand each other, money is no object. I'm willing to squander the family fortune if you get me what I want. Between your payment and any salvage you happen across, you'll walk away from this rich enough to buy a mansion of your own. How does that sound?
Could use a mansion. What's the catch? There's always a catch.
The catch? No one's ever done this before, and the only person who tried is a corpse. Believe me, that's enough. Here's your nav key, Captain. Safe travels.
Thanks. Maybe you don't need to hear this from me, but I'm sorry about your mother.
Spacer's Choice should be the one apologizing, but thank you. Sincerely. A word of advice before you go, Captain. Trust no one.
Okay, I immediately don't trust you.
Mother's office is in the heart of the Gorgon facility. You're free to salvage anything that isn't nailed down. I only want what's mine.
Mysterious heiress, unexpected gainful employment. It's like something out of a detective serial.
It's not theft if she's giving us permission.
I've already taken everything. So... Can I talk to you again?
Captain, charmed as always.
Tell me about the note you left in your bedroom.
Someone's been snooping around.
Like you told me
Not
to.
that I mind. It reminds me why I hired you in the first place. For your keen eyes and scandalous disregard for privacy.
You
When
left it
I
out in the
left home,
open.
I wanted Mother and Father to know the conditions of my return. I would stroll through the entrance with my head held high, or not at all. I left this place with every intention of returning once the time was right.
Did you enjoy Byzantium?
When I arrived, I was the toast of the town. All fought for the honor of lighting my cigarettes. The attention was sublime. I opened a small firm to help young, impressionable heirs manage their family wealth. Business was good. For a while.
What happened?
Gorgon happened. With Mother's downfall, so too fell my influence in society. I sold the business at a loss. Then I hatched a plan to restore the family name. That plan, as you're now well aware, is still in motion.
So the house was empty when you returned?
Yes. That wasn't part of the plan. Fall of Gorgon accelerated my schedule. I thought I would find success in Byzantium. Instead, I must look for redemption back where I began. Here, in these vacant halls.
All right.
You reminded me of better times. I should be thanking you.
Questions about your family?
The Ambrose family comes from old Earth money. We were pioneers, inventors, and chimerists.
What the hell is
Always at the top of
chimerists?
our field, never lagging behind. If there's anything else you'd like to know, speak on.
Your mother left an unfinished goodbye recording in the master bedroom.
A goodbye recording? I don't understand.
She must have known she was in danger.
Law, but I think you're right. Mother left that phonograph because she knew something awful might happen to her. She knew Spacer's Choice wanted her silence.
Could she be trying to warn you?
It's possible. But in the end, she never found the words. We have to find that journal, Captain. And when we do, Spacer's Choice will rue the day they crossed my family.
I read your mother's terminal. Her logs were interesting.
Ah, yes. I've scanned her old logs. But I'm afraid they haven't given up anything I didn't already know or suspect.
Ah, but you couldn't hack it like I could.
You can trust me to answer them. I gain nothing by leaving you in the dark.
Who's Lucian? Your mother didn't seem to approve of him.
Lucian was Mother's point of contact at Spacer's Choice. I'd call him high-ranking, but I don't think his job had a rank in the traditional sense. He once tried to recruit me to work on Gorgon, but of course Mother wouldn't hear of it. I never forgave her for that.
Why didn't Spacer's Choice overrule her?
And risk losing one of the colony's greatest minds to Auntie Cleo? I think not. No. In their estimate, I'm certain Mother was worth 10 of me. They did the math, and I came up short.
What did they want you to do on Gorgon?
A little bit of everything, I suppose. Manage personnel, keep an eye on budgets, see that goals and expectations were well defined. Chemistry may be my passion, but Spacer's Choice recognized my knack for administration. I would have taken the job and perhaps even enjoyed it.
Alright, and well, back to the topic.
Did anything else in Mother's terminal glue your eyes to the screen?
Something drove your father mad. Olivia put him into hibernation.
I so wanted to avoid opening that wound. Now here we are. Father was exposed to some of Gorgon's more caustic chemicals. I don't know how, but I suspect that Mother brought her work home.
Where is he now?
I don't know. It's possible that Mother carted him off to Gorgon for her studies. That, or she killed him and buried him under the floorboards, or bricked him behind a wall. I wouldn't put anything past Olivia Ambrose.
I'll go with the second one. Don't you care what happened to him?
He never defended me against Mother, never even tried to challenge her authority. Of course I care. I adored my father. But what's done is done. There's no two ways about it. Mother was vicious, and that's saying something in Halcyon.
Yeah, I guess. Any chance that you were exposed to the same chemicals?
By that point, I was already living at Byzantium, trying to get out from under my family's shadow. You're very kind to consider my well-being, but if I'd been exposed, we'd be having a very different conversation.
I don't know. Back to the terminal. You never mentioned that you enjoy painting.
Of all the intrigue and mysteries surrounding my household, that is what interests you. I do enjoy painting. I haven't indulged in some time, but it's a pleasant enough diversion.
What would you call your style? Surreal, expressionist?
I honestly don't think I've been at it long enough to have a style. Painting is something I enjoy on the side, not something I chase to perfection. We Ambrose ladies have a way of ruining the things we love by committing ourselves to them.
Jeez. That's your favorite painting?
I've always been partial to Truth Emerging from the Well to Shame Mankind by Jerome. That painting speaks to me. It shows how nothing stays hidden for long.
You gotta go for the meaning ones.
Curiosity is charming, but do remember to focus on the job at hand.
Hey, that's the thing with curiosity. You gotta look at everything, not just the one thing.
You do that. And thanks for your attention to detail.
You've come from a talented heritage. What interests you?
If Mother and I shared anything, It was our love of chemistry. Chemistry is a desire to understand matter, the very foundation of our existence.
What about antimatter?
What Ambrose could ignore such a tempting lure?
Oh, that's it? Okay, well, that's all. Back to the other questions. About the job, I guess?
Ask anything you like, Captain.
Is there anything you aren't telling me?
I've told you everything I know. I trust you to investigate Gorgon and draw your own conclusions. If you can think of anything specific, all you have to do is ask.
Okay, we'll come back if I think of anything else.
My dear.
This house has seen better days.
Regrettable, I know. We used to have a staff to maintain the grounds. Not just auto mechanicals either. Real people doing real work.
Explain the fake fish in the fake pond.
Father loved his salt tuna. He was an avid fisherman, you know. But that was long ago. When they moved here from Byzantium, Mother told me he was heartbroken to learn there was no sport. So she bought him a pond for his sad, lonely amusement.
Do you visit the rock garden much?
Not as much as I used to. Who has time to slow their thoughts and bask in tranquility?
Embrace tranquility. Throws balls at people.
My drawing room, brooding on matters outside of my control.
What's with the Moonman statue in your foyer? Or foyer?
Hideous, isn't it? I've been meaning to have that
I didn't even
removed,
see it.
Maybe jettisoned into the sun. Spacer's Choice agreed to double Mother's research budget if she subjected her family to product placement. I swear those eyes follow me wherever I go.
Couldn't you hire on a new staff? What? Could you hire on a new staff? That's not proper grammar. You get rid of the A and you just say, couldn't you hire on new staff? Because that staff is multiple.
It's hard to find good help. And I'm not
Or
going
plural.
to trust anyone who'd work for me. Present company excluded. I can worry about upkeep once my family name is restored. Until then, this manor is a base of operations.
Okay, well that's all I need to know for now. I'm off. Be seeing you, Minnie.
Be sure and close the door on your way out. I feel a draft.
Ugh. 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 Close both doors. There you go. Where's this Moonman statue that I was talking about? I don't see it. Oh, that. Yeah, that's a Moonman statue. Well, time to bounce. We got a place to investigate. I bet she's still alive on that planet. And wonder if all the chemicals that are on there are going to make everyone crazy. So her mother's still alive, but crazy. Either that or she's the only sane one left on there. But interesting. Increasing your inspiration skill improves your companion's attack. I didn't get a chance to read all of that.
Something busted?
What are your thoughts on Gorgon?
I hope we can help Miss Minnie uncover what happened to her mother. I wouldn't wish the pain of not knowing on hardly anyone.
Good talk. Wait a minute.
You don't think that's a problem? Whole ship's running on a computer's fancy. That'll make you nervous, creature?
No, Felix. The concept of a ship computer does not make me nervous. Are you scared of Ada?
I ain't scared of Ada.
Good. I'm glad we cleared that up.
It's just, she's a computer, Mac.
Something on your mind?
What do you think about Gorgon?
You know I've got no love for top rungers. But if Minnie's willing to pay, I say we take her money.
Alright, well.
Sure. Something on...
Goodbye.
Good to see you, boss.
Gorgon?
Sure, I got...
Okay, bye.
Yes, you... What's...
Gorgon?
Perhaps it's just my judicious nature, but I think we should be careful.
Oh, I guess it's only the people that came with me.
Hey, Cap. Something ain't right here, Captain. We ought to tread carefully. All this cloak and dagger for a journal? I ain't buying it.
You think there's something more to this?
Yeah, the whole thing stinks of a cover-up. I'm used to folks leaving their messes behind for all the colony to see. Hell, look at Monarch. So imagine what they'd actually be trying to hide. Captain, it's gonna be bad.
Oh, Space's Choice actually created the Marauders because they're all crazy with the chemical. Nah, just be silly. But I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to hide the fact that maybe they've made a poisonous substance that kills people instantly or something. Or I don't know. Good. If it is, we can help Minnie bring it to light.
Look, I'm all for bringing folks to justice under a rain of metal. Alls I'm saying is, be careful. Something feels different about this one.
We'll find out soon.
Young Millstone, you look pensive.
I don't know what that means, but I've been thinking. It ain't easy carrying a torch for the Rangers.
I understand. The Rangers' victories are your victories. Their defeats are likewise crushing.
You serious? Wow, Max. Never expected you to understand.
This may come as a surprise to you, Felix, but I understand what it is to be a fan.
That's so. You know,
Oh yeah, we had that one already. They keep having that discussion. There are other people in this ship. You know, have Felix talk to someone else. Gorgon 2. Gorgon landing pad. Okay. Time to get on this rock. With the same people. Ooh. They have that weird shield thing from Scylla. By the looks of it, it looks a little bit more fancy though, with the weird like flower shape on it.
Wow. Look at those stars. Don't it make you feel small in the best way?
Am I hearing an alarm? Ooh.
Please be informed that emergency evacuation protocol is currently in progress.
Currently? I thought it had been in progress for a while. Disable emergency evacuation notice. There we go. Whoa. They did leave in a hurry because everything's just left here in a mess. I mean, I'm just walking under the engines, which are still on. Huh. There's a person over there. Oh, wow, this place is huge. This must be the biggest place I've seen in this area, in this game. Right, keep your eye open for anyone dangerous.
No one lasts long on Gorgon unprepared.
Hi.
Is that what my thoughts sound like? Law, I've been standing near that alarm too long. You looking for supplies, stranger? Let's stock up here. If you run low on bullets out in Gorgon's far reaches, there ain't no one round here liable to help you out. Let me know if you're looking for something particular.
How are you here? So this is Gorgon?
You mean you came out to this asteroid without knowing nothing about it? Me too. Heard it was wild here and couldn't resist. Trouble is, if you wander off to somewhere you oughtn't be, like way out in Gorgon's farthest reaches, odds are slimmer of your bits finding their way to my pockets. If you want my advice, stick close to the Sprat Shack, unless you fancy having your limbs torn off and eaten.
Thanks, but I can handle myself.
All right. You know you better than I do.
I know me. I
Just
do.
be sure you watch out for the Marauders. That's the #1 thing. Oh, and the Mance. You watch out for Marauders, Mance, and Charles from accounting, and you'll probably be fine.
Not Charles. Who's Charles?
Only the meanest Marauder on Gorgon, and also anywhere else. That man is crazier than a bag of canids and twice as likely to bite.
I don't want to be bitten yet.
He will bust your head open like an overripe mock apple if he so much as sees you. I ain't joking. He'll snap you in half like stale bread noodles.
Ew. You're making me hungry.
Sorry. Been a minute since I last ate. Charles from accounting is like... Imagine if you took 3 of the most howling mad marauders you could find and mashed them together. That's Charles.
Sounds like a nice guy. You mean he's got the strength of 3 men?
That and a rocket launcher.
Oh. Go back to the part about the rocket launcher.
Did I not mention that? Right. Sorry. He's got a rocket launcher.
How did he get a rocket launcher?
Couldn't say. He kills anyone who gets close enough to ask. Look, long story short, you do not fuck with Chuck. Best to avoid the Marauder camp entirely. That's my 2 bits on the matter.
All about him.
Yeah.
Where'd you say he was again?
The Marauder camp way out to the east. That's what I heard, at least.
Got it.
And I sure hope you're asking so you can keep a safe distance away.
Yeah. I take it the evacuation alarm wasn't urgent?
Huh? Oh, you don't gotta worry about that. Something to do with that scrap Project Gorgon from years back. Thanks for turning it off, by the way. I'd have lost my mind if the damn thing had gone on much longer.
Why didn't someone shut it off?
We tried. Couldn't persuade the control terminal to listen. No one round here is particularly mechanically inclined, and no one was gonna shut it down by force. That's for sure.
Good thing I'm here then.
I know, because even Von Hoffman couldn't bash it in. And I seen that tough son of a gun throw man clean across the Sprat Shack one time like he were a toss ball.
Oh, what can you tell me about the project?
Only that Spacer's Choice shut it down in a big hurry. From what I heard, some of their folks got left behind even. Don't seem like the project ended well. Yeah.
Quick, because I saw a second one here. Why is he called that?
His name is Charles and he used to work in accounting?
Thanks.
No problem.
Well, trade.
Found a pickaxe in the mine like none I've ever seen before. Could be awful useful if you're the violent type.
Okay. It's not even a legendary one. It's just a normal one. Why would I want it? Oh, there it is. Handy deconstruction tool. Improvised weapon. The original brand name Auto Unfortunato never caught on. Hold on. Its sell value is 375, and yet it's 3,735. I'm good. Let me sell some stuff. Boom, boom. Nice doing some sort of business with you, I guess. Oh god, this place is so huge, everything's small. Rearranged mining mask. That's up there. Let me look around here first. Oh, well, this elevator's out. Oh man, look at that low-res dust. Oops. there is a thing on there. I can probably just go up and then jump down. Push. Robot. Serialized Law and Organization Guardian. Stellar Freighter Argosy, our Gorgon Space's choice property. Welcome user Trand D. Check electricity rationing bill. Currently owes 9,508 bits. Delete Trand D bill record. Yeah, 0 bits. Shipment history. Outgoing shipments. First one is Perseus, Terra 2, Loop E1, Edgewater. 2,000 cartons containing redacted. 3 discharge staffed, 5 reassigned staff. Alert manifest can seize the recommended maximum weight of this vessel. Second one is Terra 1, Gorgon to Stella Bay. 100 cartons containing prototype redacted. 2 tons raw redacted. 15 reassigned staff. Exceed the maximum weight. Incoming. First one, Ethics Gradient, Caribus Loop G3, Tartarus to Gorgon. 350 cartons containing 100 units each sterile injection ampules. 30 high-pressure steel cylinders containing oxygen, and 25 volunteers. And the other one is from Byzantium, 3 corporate security guard or squads containing 3 fire teams each. 500 rounds of light ammunition, 2,000 rounds of heavy, and 1 flat containing units Moonman standee. Messages incoming. Mostly C. Is that supposed to be like a pun on the name? Like Trandy is in like trendy and mostly C is like just mostly. Mr. Tran, are you aware of the concept of relativity? It is a rhetorical question. I'm aware the Space's Choice training does not include business philosophy in its curriculum. Consider this a remedial... Oh god, there's way too much. I'm going to skim read this. Okay. Outgoing messages to Reynard S. Buddy, I don't understand how you manage to log 3 times the number of shipments I do out of that miserable but shack you call an office, but you need to cut it the fuck out. Mostly he's been poking at the Ogre Sea ship rate numbers again, and now he started asking questions why Lewis, or is that Lois? I'll go with both. Lois, and I can't pack as quickly together as you can alone. I'm thinking maybe I should tell him you're dipping into the supply of the prototype Adrenatime. I don't think he'd like that, do you? Shit, maybe you are. If that's the case, well, maybe you ought to come lend me and Lewis a hand, and we can load up the next all of the test subject corpses. Get yourself a real good view of what Chem's wonder drug does. Archived from Vasquez. You gotta help me out. The Monarch's delivery's gone MIA, and the big guy at corporate is messaging my personal terminal looking for answers. Not Goodfellow. That seersucker suit-wearing muffer from Byzantium, Bancroft. Your kid cousin still works in Cascadia, right? Do you think you could hoof it over to Stella Bay and I don't know, poke around the part, see if it's there? The shipments is to blah, blah, blah. The transport was packed last week. Packed. I know it's not a lot. I know it's a lot to ask, and I know you know how I feel about begging for handouts, but I swear to the law, if I looked out my door and that Bancroft guy'd be there in the street, slapping a wrench against his palm like a mob boss in one of the bootleg cereals from Groundbreaker. Okay. Please, man, I know you know how fun I am with my kneecaps. Right.
This unit is a friend to all debtors.
Okay. There's an invisible wall here. You put some boxes that I can't actually get to.
Okay.
Let's look at an exact spot that opens it. Screw it. Let's just get out. Oh. It just goes into the abyss down there. Considering this place is supposed to be abandoned, there's a lot of people. Well, there's at least one person here. Please be worth it. was sort of worth it, I guess. But now I have to go around. I mean, I wish I had more money, and it probably would have been a lot more if I had gotten the perk for it. But I don't think that would have given me more money. I think that would have just given me more ammo. Yep. Oopsie daisy. Now what is in here? The Sprat Shack. Wentworth High Society. Finest cigarettes in Halcyon. Wentworth cigarettes. Oh boy, another person.
Come here. Let's have a chat.
Maybe. Von Hoffman, hello.
All right, inspection time. Look at my eyes for as long as you can without blinking. Starting now.
You got it. Keep looking into his eyes.
Good. Look up. Now look down.
Look up, look down.
You're doing swell. Now, name and occupation.
Celeste, captain of the Unreliable.
Good enough for me. You're cleared to pass. That was a sanity check. If you had changed like the others, it'd be in your eyes. You'd also be drooling, cursing, and making a mess of the place. Welcome to the Sprat Shack. You can head on downstairs.
What exactly do you mean when you said people had changed?
Every day, salvagers and scrappers set out to comb the ruins and make their fortune. The ones who come back, they aren't always the same men or women who left. They change. Never for the better.
Great. What exactly happens to people?
First, they get real twitchy and paranoid, shouting at folks who aren't there. Then they smell like they soiled themselves, on account of how they soiled themselves.
Ew.
After that, they're gone. Nothing but animals wearing human skin.
I am not an animal!
Myself. It's never pretty.
Where exactly am I?
This is the Sprat Shack, the most remote watering hole in the system. Rule number 1, no fighting. Rule number 2, wipe your feet on the way downstairs. We're the only hospitable place on this rock. I want to keep it that way.
Why, though?
That's why we have rule
Why
number
are you
3.
here?
When people change, they stay outside, where they belong.
Let me ask you something else.
Just don't ask me to dance.
Aww. What do you do around here?
Bouncer, bodyguard, law enforcer. I make sure the Sprat Shack gets only the highest caliber of clientele.
That's us. And I thought this place was gonna be fun.
We get a lot of brand-loyal corporate types, and a lot of cutthroat freelancer types. Both sides have their share of dirty scoundrels. And I hate dirt.
Oh. At least you don't hate sand like I do. Get along for it. Great. What kinds of people do come to the Sprat Shack?
This is a sublight bar.
Of course it is.
So most of our regulars come to plunder the old labs. The facility's locked up behind miles of red tape, so progress is slow. A lot of time to drink and reevaluate, then venture out and try again.
What do you know about Gorgon?
Something bad happened here. Spacer's Choice was developing chemicals. The kind with nasty side effects. Marauders outnumber the rest of us 10-1. Either they came from Gorgon, or something draws them here. I don't know which is worse. This place is under a dark cloud, stranger. That's all I know.
But there's no
If you
atmosphere
want the
to there
history
for there
of
to be
the Sprat
clouds.
Shack, talk to Lex behind the bar.
Alright, well, see you around.
Watch yourself out there.
I see everything, especially with my new hat that makes my eyes just look everywhere. Time to take the elevator.
Smell that? Cheap whiskey and stale cigarettes. My kind of place.
Oh, ugh. This place smells like Felix's birth.
Why were you watching his birth? And why can you smell it? There's actually quite a few people here.
Watch your step. This is a family business. Chin up, look sharp.
Are you my agent on the ground?
Sorry?
I've been sent to meet a certain someone about a certain piece of merchandise. They're supposed to use a secret code phrase.
Can't help you. I'm just here to drink.
That's the code phrase. It is you.
quiet down. You're making a scene.
Hello.
Welcome to the Sprat Shack. First one's on the
Fiddle's
house,
lost
and
and
I won't
found.
even water it down. What'll it be?
Whiskey, I'm feeling refined.
Bottoms up. I assume you're here for salvage.
Not exactly, but can you explain what you mean?
Most of my regulars are sublight scavengers. They pick over the ruins of Gorgon, spend their earnings at the bar, and head back out the next day.
Probably a good idea not to
Vicious
let anyone
cycle.
know, everyone
That's
know.
life. You're the first new face I've seen in a while.
You know anyone by the name of Lucky Montoya?
Lucky. Sure, I knew him. He could get a little dramatic at times, but he was a good guy. Heard he took on a dangerous job. Spent a lot of time coming and going from the Office of Creative Incubation.
That's
just
a
down the
weird
road.
name. Office of Incubation or
That's
Creative
where the
Incubation?
top runners at Spacer's Choice came up with slogans of marketing. Lucky never told me why it was so important. Awful shame about what happened to him.
What happened?
You really want to hear my story? Law, most everyone around here is sick to death of it by now. Last I saw of Lucky was a few days ago. I went outside for a smoke and a stroll, and I saw this wild canid dragging a bloody limb. So I kicked the canid, scared it off.
Go on.
Get this, the canid was chewing on an honest-to-law human arm. Lucky's arm.
The same one I got or a different one? How'd you know it belonged to him?
I'm a bartender. Attention to detail is my middle name. Anyway.
That's a weird middle
Arm
name.
was clutching a phonograph that mentioned someone named Alex Hawthorne.
Oh, it was you that sent it
Did
then.
some poking around, and this Hawthorne has a reputation among the salvagers who frequent the bar. So I packaged up the arm nice and tidy and sent it care of the Halcyon Parcel Service. They even gave me a discount on the hazardous waste removal stamp.
The arm made it to me. I'm Hawthorne's next of kin, sort of.
No kidding. And now you're here? Colony feels smaller than you'd think some days. I'm glad I was here to see this confluence of events, you know? The stars really aligned on this one. And here I am, smack dab in the middle.
You sent the arm. Why bother sending the arm at all?
I figured Hawthorne would want to know what happened to his pal. Help Lucky get his affairs in order, you know. Oh, I hate to see people go with unfinished business.
Right, but you didn't need to send the arm. Where was Lucky staying?
3rd floor. Once I figured he wasn't coming back to pay his tab, I left his room unlocked to air it out. You can help yourself to anything you left behind.
Cool,
Fair
thanks.
warning, I've been letting the regulars use it for a quick lie down. Just wash your hands when you're done.
Is that lie down with
Trust
quotation marks? Well, what do you know about Gorgon?
Spacer's Choice used to brew pharmaceuticals in these parts. That's why the asteroid smells like an old gym sock.
Of course it does.
They say Adrenatime came from here, just down the road at the old R&D lab. Very hush-hush back in the day.
Would any of your regulars have more information about this place?
Roscoe might tell you more. He spent some time around here before the bar opened up. And I trust him well enough. There's always Leonora, my favorite customer over in the storage room on the 2nd floor. Keeps to herself and always closes out her tab.
Oh. What's Roscoe's story?
He's been here since opening day. I think he told me he was some kind of journalist. He got left behind when Spacer's Choice pulled out. And I guess no one's coming to get him.
Poor bastard, you're looking out for him?
Roscoe's drinks are on the house. We all know how it feels to get left behind. He'll be all right. He's with the family now, and we take care of our own.
Why'd he get left behind anyway?
He didn't tell me and I didn't ask. I'm his bartender, not his human resources rep. If you believe the chatter, a lot of good folks got left behind, and a lot of bad folks made it out. Sometimes that's all there is to it.
And what can you tell me about Leonora?
Nice lady. Been coming around a lot these past few months. She isn't with Sublight, but seems to know the lay of the land better than anyone. She spends most of her days drinking alone. I think she's looking to hire someone. If you're open to a side gig.
I've got a bunch of side gigs that I'm open for. Do you know if she spoke with Lucky Montoya at all?
Now that you mention it, I thought I saw those two sharing stories over a pint. Didn't think twice about it. I don't speak ill of the dead, but Leonora deserves better company. That Lucky was no good for her.
Well, that's why I'm here. I am the good company. Thanks for the tip.
What are friends for, eh?
Sure, we're friends. Any ideas why why Spacer's Choice shut down Gorgon?
I doubt anyone knows the full story. One day the evacuation order went out. Grunts and lab coats scrambled to get anywhere but Gorgon. And the weirdest thing of all, Adrenatime still hit the market. Me, I never touched the stuff. To each their own, but I think it's dangerous.
Salvagers must be making a fortune off of this place.
Damn right we are. We've got drugs, scrap metal, prototype weapons, drugs, money, and more drugs.
Drugs!
When Spacer's Choice evacuated, everyone dropped their gear and ran. Most of it stayed where it fell, and all of it is up for grabs.
And you're not questioning
Of course,
why they dropped
the real
everything and
treasure is
ran like
whatever's
that?
locked up in the old facility. Until someone figures a way to crack it open, we're just sifting through dirt.
Alright, no further questions.
You got it, bub.
Bub. So you run this place?
Yes and no. The Sprat Shack used to be a shipping and receiving warehouse during the old Project Gorgon days.
Uh-huh.
When Spacer's Choice pulled their guys off-world, Sublight moved in to salvage what we could, and they put me in charge.
So Sublight owns the Sprat Shack. I said Shack Sprat.
Yes and no. Rumor has it there's a Sprat wandering around the Groundbreaker, and he's the legal owner of the Sprat Shack. Hagen's idea.
Dare I ask why a Sprat owns the bar?
See, Hagen didn't want a paper trail that led back to her, so she gave the bar to the Sprat. If there were any legal problems with this place, the Sprat would do the time.
You know, they do something similar in Byzantium. Fancier system, but same idea.
You think a Sprat could own Edgewater? Oh, imagine one wearing Mr. Thompson's little hat.
Anyway, that's what the paperwork says. I don't make the rules.
Alright. How would you even know which Sprat is the right one?
Easy. His name's Matt. The beautiful thing is, no one could tell Matt Sprat apart from an ordinary vermin. I think that's kind of the point, to send the authorities on a wild Sprat chase.
What happens if Ethel Gabler turns him into Spratwurst?
Never thought about that. Shit, someone could have eaten my boss. As far as business arrangements go, this one's a head-scratcher, but they say it's all above board, so that's what matters.
Okay. Does Spacer's Choice mind that you're squatting in their warehouse?
Yes and no. We're doing a lot more than squatting. We're classing up the joint, keeping the riffraff outside where it belongs. They didn't even serve drinks until I arrived. Talk about wasted potential.
Can you answer any question without starting with yes or no?
Yes. And no. Again, that one was Hagen's idea. She told me that speaking in vague terms keeps you out of trouble. And I don't want any trouble in my place.
Well, then you got into the wrong business. How do you get supplies in and out?
Thirsty people come and go from all over the colony. Mostly on the way to somewhere better. Some are well-connected. And not everyone pays with bits.
Here's my
how we
hat.
get the unconventional goods anyhow. Sublight keeps us well-stocked with the essentials. By which I mean booze.
Of course you do. Alright, well, let's see what you got.
I'll set him up. You knock him back.
Buy my junk off me. That's all you're used for. Cat's Eye Pressure Helm. A well-cushioned helmet that uses optical stabilization to improve viewing accuracy. Sneak damage plus 25% and hack plus 5. Does it have to look silly, though? Couldn't it look cool? Alright, well, we've got some people to try and talk to. Trixie, Freddy.
You're a humbug, Trixie, and worse, a thief.
I can't steal what's lawfully mine, you tangle-footed dimwit.
Break it up, you two. I've heard more than enough of your shit for one day.
That was my salvage, Trixie. You had no right to it then, and you've no right to it now.
Let them talk.
I risked my life sneaking around Marauders to claim that wreck. And I didn't see your name on it.
Now you've done it. Eat fist!
All right, that's enough! This is a family establishment! You want to make a mess? You make it outside!
But this was personal, Lex. It's a question of salvage. That wreck was gonna make me a fortune.
You get a lot of tavern squabbles out here.
Oh, it's the same fight every day. 5 years we've been at this, and we still can't agree on how to properly tag salvage. Now you two listen, this is my place. While you're in the Sprat Shack, you'll sit quietly, or I'll forbid you to come here at all. Is that understood?
Fair's fair. I'll have a stout, and we'll settle this later on our own terms.
That was easy.
It's no good to leave a fight unresolved. If I don't do something, these two are gonna be at each other's throats.
I could intervene if you like.
You'd do that for me?
Sure, it's kind of what I do for everyone.
I appreciate it all the same. You'll be paid for your time and expertise, of course. Freddy, Trixie, go on and make your case to the generous stranger.
I'll start, seeing as I'm the one who's been most wronged in this equation.
State your names for the tavern.
Oh, very formal. Freddy the Scab, freelancer for sublight salvage and shipping, same as my father before me.
Junkyard Trixie, also a salvage freelancer, though I've been at it longer than Freddy.
So, just up the road and due east of here, there's a shipwreck lodged in the mountainside, right? I staked my claim on that wreck. Then I wandered in for a drink. An hour later,
Why?
Trixie swaggers in bragging about her salvage. Ugh, the nerve of some people.
How did you mark the claim?
I climbed on top of it and called out in my loudest voice, "Finders keepers!"
You're a dumbass. Turn to Lex, is that legal?
I don't know about legal, but it's legit by sublight standards. Assuming anyone was around to hear it, which we can't know for sure.
Someone must have heard me. They just ain't brave enough to step forward and admit it.
Uh-huh. What's your side of the stories, Trixie?
When I found the shipwreck, there were no salvage mark. See, the whole area was teeming with bloodthirsty marauders. So I snuck around and added my tag, clear as day, so no drunken idiots could claim the salvage out from under me, Freddy.
For the record, when I heard the marauders coming, I left. Trixie must have set her mark down after me.
You had your chance to talk.
Sorry, I won't speak out of turn again.
Anyway,
I'm so good at this.
That's my story, ma'am.
Intimidating. What mark did you leave on the salvage, Trixie?
I drew an X in the dirt, with my toe.
Couldn't marauders have walked over it by now, or the wind blown it away?
Wouldn't surprise me in the least, but that doesn't mean it ain't mine.
In all my years, I've never heard a more contentious argument. I don't envy your shoulders for bearing the weight of responsibility. You've heard it from them both. So, who gets the salvage?
Well, they are both idiots because they both marked it with something that is easily missable and can be erased. If no one is around for you to scream at the top of your lungs, "This is mine," then that's not going to fly, especially if no one's coming forth with that information. Also, you don't do it verbally because that's not tagging, that's just shouting. That's like going like, "Oh, this is my jam," and then you put it down and walk away and not come back for like an hour. That jam's going to be gone. Someone can still take it just because you say it's your jam. Whereas the other woman is just like, "I drew an X in the dirt," which is not gotta be helpful in the slightest, because that could just mean that you're tagging the floor, not the actual salvage. Like, ugh. They are both stupid, because the way that you would tag something would be to put something onto the thing that you're saying is yours. So you could put your name on it. Like, if it, let's say it's a ship or something. Let's say on the ship, they carve out on the side their name. Like, oh, Trixie's salvage. Or Freddy's salvage. You know, something that's identifiable. You can see it and it's right and just as clear as day. But the problem the complication is that Trixie actually cleared out the marauders around it. And it sounds like she sold it or whatever she did with it. And because she did that, that maybe might make it hers. Taking into everything that I could think of, I'm going to go with these idiots don't know how to tag salvage, so I rule in no one's favor.
That ain't no kind of fair.
She ain't even from around here, Lex.
Here's a 6-pack on the house, plus your fee. Maybe now we'll finally get some peace around here for a change.
Does this happen often?
A little too often if you ask me, but that's the sublight way. Anything worth doing is worth fighting over.
Well, glad to be of service. See you around.
Come and chat if you're ever feeling thirsty.
We could always go back and rile him up again later. That's my captain.
Freddy's a blathering idiot, but he's my blathering idiot.
Aww.
Trixie's a stubborn gal, but I love her to pieces.
Wow, so they actually are a couple? So it wouldn't have mattered either way.
Seen any good salvage around?
Not really. Raving drunk?
I may have been overserved.
Ooh, kitchen. Mini machine. That's a lot of stuff. So anything on this floor? We've got a way over here. I can probably check. Freaking bar stool.
I don't know. Did you bring the goods?
No payment, no goods.
Give me a taste of the goods. Just so I know I can trust you.
You can't trust me. Now, did you bring the payment?
I don't know. Did you bring the goods?
Oh my god. Look at the fella. Oh, this is behind the bar. Look at the friends. There's nothing of use in there, and that's a closed door I can't open. Alright, well, back we go. Meow.
Who do you work for anyway?
I wouldn't get too close to that railing, just in case.
You think the folks here like strangers? 'Cause some of them are looking at us like maybe not.
We're on the first floor. Time to speak to this woman.
Jerome would have loved this place.
Who? I don't know who Jerome is. But hello.
You don't look like one of the salvagers, no? Don't really seem like the type. You've got the look of someone who's traveled far to get here and whose journey is far from over.
What are you, a mind reader? What makes you say that?
Confidence. The scavengers around here, they're faking it. You're the real deal.
Oh, you know.
I don't know if you're bound for the old ruins, but in case you are, can you look into something? I'd do it myself, but of course, the marauders would eat me alive.
Depends on what you need.
Looking for something out there. Been paying Sublight to help me, but they haven't made much progress.
Sublight wouldn't turn over on rock unless there's a salvage underneath it.
Well put. My husband and I worked on Gorgon during the good times. Jerome was on maintenance duty. I cleaned out test tubes till they sparkled.
Where's Jerome now?
Nowhere good, that's for sure. In his final hours, Gorgon was a war zone. Violence broke out in the labs. The hills were full of marauders. You couldn't take a leisurely stroll without an armed escort. When the order came through to evacuate, non-essential personnel drew a lottery to see who would board the first wave of ships.
Of course they did, like all the other ones.
I lost. As soon as I wasn't looking, Jerome switched our tickets and pushed me to the front of the line. I got to leave. Jerome stayed behind. I never saw him again.
Damn. That was very noble of him.
That Jerome always chose the right thing, even when it got him killed. This place is greedy. Took my Jerome, and it would have taken me too. I just want one thing back. His old hip flask. I gave it to him the day we signed our marriage contract, and he carried it wherever he went. I know it's still here.
What do you think happened to him?
No point in denying it. He died on this rock. Likely torn apart by marauders, unless he took care of himself on his own terms.
Jeez.
I don't like to imagine what happened, but I know I have to accept it.
I could keep an eye out for that flask.
You'd really do that for me? Law. And I'll bet you're worth 10 of those sublight sprats.
Yeah.
I don't have much, but if you help me, there's a little set aside for the occasion. Jerome used to drink with his buddies in a small kitchen opposite the maintenance shed. Might be a good place to check first.
I'll check that when I can. But I wanted to ask something first.
Yeah?
Do you know Lucky Montoya?
That old flirt? Yeah, I let him buy me a drink or two. He talked my ear off about exciting jobs he'd done. All lies, I'm sure. He fell asleep with his head on my shoulder. That man had baggage like you wouldn't believe. I didn't think anyone could be lonelier than me.
Did you mention anything about the Gorgon research facility?
He bragged about having the key to some sort of maintenance area in one of the old buildings. I never saw it, so I just assumed he was talking himself up. He also asked if I wanted to see something gross and slimy he kept in his room. But I declined, politely.
Is that supposed to be an innuendo or something else? Was he depressed?
He put on quite a front, but I think he was weary. Like he'd seen too much and had too little to show for it. Guess we were kindred spirits in a way.
Possibly. Thanks. That's all, thanks.
Sure thing. My condolences if you two are close.
I barely know the guy. Tell me about your time on Gorgon.
The lab coats kept quiet about the project, but the air was charged with excitement. You could feel it wherever you went. I wanted to change the world. A tenfold boost to worker productivity with no side effects? Who wouldn't salivate at the thought? I don't know what went wrong, but when the shit hit the fan, it sprayed everyone in its path, including me.
That's an analogy, that's for sure. Be seeing ya. More sprats, more people in here.
Heard a rumor the board is gonna shut this place down.
That'll never happen. This is a sublight bar.
So what?
Maybe pissing off a legitimate...
What's in this room?
Huh, who's this now? Wonder if they could... Nah, who am I kidding?
Hello, I am Celeste. I am here to solve everyone's problems.
Holy shit, a fresh face. Haven't seen your like in years. Don't know what brought you to the most dangerous corner of this solar system, pal, but you're welcome here. Oh, you talked to Lex yet? She tell you to keep it civil? You wouldn't guess to talk to her, but that lady's got a mean left hook.
She punched you at some point? I talked to her. She mentioned you were some kind of journalist.
Some kind. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Got into reporting thinking I was gonna be some sort of public intellectual. What a joke. Spent 95% of my time playing stenographer to the board, and the rest writing puff pieces on the chairman's latest beard trim. Real life and death shit.
Sounds serious. You seem like you're having a rough time. Can I help you out?
If you're going back out there, do you think you'd be willing to do an old bastard a small favor?
Maybe. Yeah, helping out old bastards is 8% of my job. What do you need?
Dr. Wells ain't that old, Captain.
Well, I've been trying to get away from this rock for 5 lobby-fucked years, but I can't stay gone.
What's that?
Told you I was a journalist, right? I was here on a story back when Project Gorgon was active. I was doing an interview series for Spacer's Choice. Recorded them all on these little portable phonographs.
Okay.
But when everything fell to shit, Spacer's Choice wouldn't let me leave. Terms of my reporting contract unmet, they said.
Kind of hard to meet something when everyone's leaving. You hit them and now you need me to go get them for you. That about cover it?
Right on the money. Look at me. I'm no fighter. I've never even touched a gun. But you You're just the right amount of rough around the edges.
I'm rough.
Help me get my
Rough
recordings
and
back
tough.
so I can finally get the hell out of here.
Why stash the recordings?
Someone had been trying to steal them since the day my assistant and I started interviewing.
Huh.
Couldn't even keep them in my safe. They always found a way in. So I took to hiding them all over the fucking asteroid. Thought I was so clever. What a fool I was.
A silly fool. You mentioned an assistant. Where are they now?
Oh, Georgie? Yeah, she helped me with interviews. A real whiz with the portable recorder tech, too. When things got crazy, I shoved her onto the last ship off Gorgon. With any luck, she's safe and comfortable in Byzantium. She tried every which way to stay, but it was my contract keeping us here, not hers. Didn't seem fair she'd have to suffer just because I made a bad deal.
Well, it's your lucky day. I'll get those recordings for you.
No shit? That's downright civilized of you.
Someone in this place has to be.
One of them I stashed in the Office of Creative Incubation, in the projector room on the 3rd floor.
And I'm not just talking about Gorgon, I just mean in all of Halcyon.
Just outside OCI's upper entrance.
Why there?
Seems like a good idea at the time. Someone had started a fire, folks were shooting other folks. It was a madhouse.
Huh, got it. Next.
You'll find another in the chem lab. It's in the main lab storage room.
You ran all over Gorgon just to hide your recordings?
Didn't have much of a choice. The primals had gotten loose, couple of them were chasing me. The recordings just ended up wherever I hid.
Oh, okay. Alright, easy enough. The others?
The final one is in human inquiry and auditing. It's tucked behind a pipe in observation room B.
Got it. The observation room wouldn't have someone have seen you?
What with the test subjects running loose, the researchers were surprisingly unobservant.
Huh. Got it. I'll be back.
Strength to your sword arm, friend. And thank you.
All of them. Well, I had other questions.
Hey, there you are. Did you manage?
Can I ask something?
Sure,
what was the deal with Lucky Montoya?
Nice enough guy. Fashioned himself one of those professional gumshoes, like in the serials.
How dare he? That's my job.
Worked for the board, rooting out dissidents and the like. Lucky, though, he was freelance. Worked for anyone who paid, no matter their allegiance. You ask me, I think the guy just likes snooping around in folks' terminal messages.
Like me! I like doing that. Did Lucky tell you anything about his investigation?
Next to nothing. He preferred to keep a tight lid on things, more dramatic that way. Not that he needed to keep secrets. Folks down here don't give two shits about anything but bits and beer.
Alright. Come on, I bet he loved showing off for a sharp guy like you.
Been a long time since someone tried to butter me up. Can't say I hate it. So sometimes Lucky'd get deep in his cups and start going on about the ghost of Gorgon. But I didn't think anything of it. Guy also liked to say he could pop the cyst off a cysty pig at 100 paces with his eyes closed.
Ew. What was Gordon like in its heyday?
Frenetic, chaotic, vicious, take your pick. I wasn't here at the start, but going off what folks told me about the early days, Gorgon started out with promise. The board's best and brightest were excited to work here, said it was a good posting. The project director had a vision and big, bold ideas.
I've read that as big, bold head. The best and brightest sure got a lot of people killed.
As long as the board gets their bits, that's just the cost of doing business.
Of course it is.
Thing is, the schedules coming out of the corporate office were unrealistic from the get-go, and they were trying to do the project on a shoestring budget. Couple that with the obvious personnel problems and toxic junk in the product, it was only a matter of time before it all went to hell.
How'd Marauders enter the picture?
Sprat Shack legend has it they crawled out of the mines one day. Heard one fella suggest they might even be aliens.
And what do you think?
I think Halcyon wants us dead. Look at Monarch. The planet's pure poison. Folks can't eat the food that grows on Terra 2 without getting sick. Who's to say it's not something in the dirt or the water? I don't have proof, mind. It's just a hunch.
Oh, Gorgon's a ruin now. What sent it over the edge?
Shit, any number of things. Fire, primals, sabotage. It didn't happen all at once, but it happened fast enough folks couldn't respond in time. Now, if you're asking how it all kicked off, might have been spies that did it. Corporate espionage, you know. Anti-Cleos.
Boss.
I never did figure it out. Not about to try now.
Well, why not? Spacer's Choice won't let you leave Gorgon until you delivered the recordings.
Oh, I've tried. Make no mistake. I've caught a couple of rides out with Sublight folks. But the board's fixers always send me right back.
Why?
And I'm not about to stand toe-to-toe with Marauders just to fulfill a line item on a contract.
Seems a lot of effort for just recordings. Must have talked a lot to the staff here. What were they working on?
Adrenatime. I'm sure you know it. Was a drug, something to make folks work harder, work smarter. Had a lot of nasty side effects. Didn't seem so bad to me at the time, but then I hadn't met the test subjects yet. The whole thing was real hush-hush. A lot of worry about corporate spies, especially from Anti-Cleos. I probably shouldn't even be mentioning it to you, to be honest. Spacer's Choice? They're really not fond of spies.
Oh no. Who is?
Fair point. Not even spies like spies.
What do you know about the senior researchers?
Not much, except that there was a whole gaggle of them, and so far as I could tell, they absolutely hated each other. Dr. Ambrose would hardly let me speak to any of them, but she complained about him all the time.
What'd she complain about?
Everything, seemed like. Marion Blakesley, for example, lady who ran HIA, wouldn't return any of her messages. Not once, for years. Jasper Lowe, guy who headed up Chem, was high more than he was sober. He insisted on running special tests on primals, too. Law knows what for.
He wanted a super primal.
Dr. Ambrose really had it out for this guy Lawrence Goodfellow. Ran OCI.
OCI?
If he saw red on a schedule. By the end, I heard folks were turning in completely bunk progress reports just to keep him out of their hair. Had this little minion, too. An actuary named Clarence Mosley. Obsessed with quantifying every
we've got a full name now for that person.
Mosley was the guy who got me mixed up in all this. Asshole. I hope a primal ate him.
So there was tension between the researchers.
Oh yeah, it wasn't just that Dr. Ambrose hated them. They seemed to hate each other too. OCI pushed a ludicrous schedule. Chem made a bad product. And HIA returned garbage results.
I see.
A regular merry-go-round of shit flying in every direction. It's no surprise it all fell apart.
Sounds like half the crews I run with. Not this one, of course.
Of course.
Mister, I'm not about to tell you how to do your job, but I ain't think that metaphor's fit to print.
Editor always did say my prose was a bit purple. Or brown, in this case.
Uh-huh. Well, never mind.
Not a problem. Anything else?
Nope. I'll let you know when I find those recordings.
Of course. I won't be going anywhere, so, you know, take your time.
Fine, that'll take 12 days. That'll make you regret the chance of saying that.
What's the story with this place anyhow?
Used to be a shipping warehouse.
Why there's so many people here?
Supplies came in.
This is not a door I can open, so up we go. We'll finish off this area before we finish streaming today, so we're ready for next time.
What have you got there? Adrenatime, I think. I found some in an old busted crate.
What's over here?
Someone's in here. Oh, lol. It's coming back up again.
Oh yes, the animation of him throwing up.
I'm all right. That last one really emptied my guts. No, wait.
Hello. This place is messy. Like you couldn't just leave things like normal. List of expenses, room and board of the Sprat Shack, 350 bits, Borstwurst 25, OCI Key 100, ammunition 50, Stogie Slims 200, Glacial Aged Whiskey 500. There's one. Theories and leads, something strange in the mines. Check it out. Note, stay out of the mines. Murderous moonman in the canyon, probably local legend. Kenneth equals yellow, Space's logo equals yellow. Coincidence? No such thing. Persons of interest. Lots of bodies buried on Gorgon, but not many hatchets. Everyone had a grudge to bear and a finger to point. Lawrence Goodfellow oversaw Office of Creative Incubation, genuinely oblivious or playing dumb. Olivia Ambrose, project director, lead scientist, prickly perfectionist. No, do not ask about Minnie, or do not ask Minnie about her. Killed in evacuation. Lucian Bancroft, Space's choice man, real top runner, few logged visits to Gorgon, tensions with Ambrose. Right, Marion Blakesley, supervisor of human inquiry and auditing, nerves of steel, heart of ice, etc., disappeared when things fell apart. Jasper Law, head of ChemLab, exhibited increasingly erratic behavior in later years of project. Herbert St. Germain, he's a ghost, worked at one of the facilities, vanished suddenly, record scrubbed. Interesting. Day 1. Space's Choice must have left in a hurry, but they didn't forget to lock the doors on their way out. Most of the facilities are sealed up tighter than a top-runger's safe. Time to do some digging. Day 6. Caught a break today. Met a scavenger who claims to be a salesman for Space's Choice. Sold me a key to the Office of Creative Incubation. Let's just say this guy is about as lucrative as a sprat in a Ritz hose factory. But I'm spending Minnie's bits, so I can't afford to take a chance. Day 7. It worked. Clarence Mosley, whoever you are, I'm drinking to you tonight. Day 10. Olivia Ambrose's office and journal ought to be in the Synthesis and Manufacturing Center. The bad news is it's sealed up and at the ass end of the canyon. The good news is I should be able to open it from the Bigwigs admin terminal in OCI. Day 13. OCI is crawling with marauders, and I have got a few other leads to chase down. Could be nothing, but my gut tells me there's more to this place than a missing journal. Time to turn over a few rocks and see what crawls out. I'm leaving the OCI key in my safe. The combo is 4815. Note about key. Several whiskeys in and a few bits short last night. Gave Lex the maintenance room key where I'll scrounge up what owed. Note to self, pay up and get it back before you go back to UCI. Okay. I'm just wondering if reading these now update my things. But nothing. Preserved eye. A carefully preserved eyeball, mostly intact.
As a medical professional, I gotta say, that is very well preserved and disgusting.
You think they stick the preservative in before or after the eye comes out?
Hello, bar patron? Man, I can't open that. Well, we have an eyeball now, which is, something. Ew. Looks like a glass eye more than a real one. So we have several things to check. We have love is the plan. The plan is death. Search Jerome's flask in the ruins. Retrieve the photograph stuff. And we've also got to do this, which is enter the Office of Creative Incubation. I guess the key is an eye then. Which is great. Right, so he also said something about paying Lex back for whatever.
Sorry about Freddy and Trixie. When they're not fighting over salvage, they're fighting over the bed sheets at night.
Uh-huh. Those two are a couple?
They like to blow off steam during work hours, but as soon as they clock out, they turn into a pair of kittens. So, what'll it be?
Did Lucky leave a key with you?
As a matter of fact, he did. Collateral for the bar tab he was racking up. So, I guess it's mine now. And no, you can't have it.
Is the key worth 2,591 bits to you?
No. Maybe. Alright, yes. Here. I don't know what it unlocks, but...
Maintenance room key.
He seemed to think it was important. I take him at his word.
I'll have a look around.
He's seeing you.
It's a maintenance room key, but maintenance room key for what? This is the key to the property of Space's Choice Project Gorgon Division. If found, please return to the second floor of the Office of Creative Incubation and then find yourself 100 bits for unlawful use. Right, okay. Well, we're done here. Let's head up, and then when we come back on Friday, we can begin our investigation of Gorgon fully. If it'll go up faster than this. What's up, boy? Up we go. All right. This is a good place to stop for today. So thank you all for watching that managed to make it today. I hope you all enjoyed.
Lucky's problem was that he was always overconfident in himself. But us? We got this, whatever it is.
You think this place we're headed will tell us more about Gorgon? I wonder what they got up to here.
Aliens. But yes, we will stop there for today. We'll pick this up on Friday. Tomorrow we're going to be continuing with more Spider-Man DLC. So for now, for anyone that managed to make it today, hope you all enjoyed. As usual, like, follow, subscribe, all that stuff, wherever you're watching one, depending on where you do, just do the one for there. And if you want to help support me, there's links to Patreon or tips you want to help through there. They do help a lot, and I appreciate it a lot. And yeah, until tomorrow, you all take care. Have a nice day, or rest of the day, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.